What is up, guys? It is your favorite Otaku Lotus here today, and welcome back to the Nerdcore Nerd Corner. In today's video, I'm going to be bringing you my very first ever anime tag. Now, I've actually always wanted to do one of these, but considering how small my channel is and how new it is, and the limited amount of interaction I've had with the anime community, no one's ever actually tagged me in one of these before. So I do want to give a quick shout out to the homie Lavux. He's also another relatively small YouTube channel who does anime and manga content, so definitely check him out, show him some love. I'll leave a link to his video and his channel in the description down below so you guys can check him out. And I just want to thank you for tagging me in this because I've actually always wanted to do one of these. Also, I just want to mention that I can't really elaborate on all of my answers as much as I would like to because at the time, I currently have 2 strikes on my channel, so I can't really make videos longer than 15 minutes, which is kind of a nuisance. So if some of my answers sound rushed or just not as long as you'd like to hear, I apologize, but we can definitely talk more about it in the comment section below if you want to hear me elaborate or discuss more on my answers and why I chose them. Just feel free to ask a question and I'll answer it. So with that being said, let's just jump straight into the first question, and it is, what is your favorite anime? And if you know me, you already know FLCL, aka Fooly Cooly. That's my favorite anime of all time. That may or may not ever change, though I highly doubt it ever will. Next question is, what is your least favorite anime? And this one might shock a lot of people, it might even anger a lot of people, but Steins Gate. Steins Gate's the worst thing I've ever seen, animated or not. I hate Steins Gate with a burning passion. That is by far my least favorite anime I've ever seen. The next question is, do you read the manga that goes with the anime? Not for every anime I watch, but for a lot of them. The majority of the manga that I have read, I've seen the anime adaptation for. I think the only manga that I've read that I haven't seen the anime for are manga that don't have an anime adaptation. Next question is, what is your favorite genre? Probably action or supernatural, because the majority of my favorite anime are either action or supernatural or both. So yeah, it'd have to be either action or supernatural. And then the next question is, what is your least favorite genre? And I don't have anything against mech in particular. Like I never thought that I disliked mech, but I tend to find that the mech anime that I've seen relatively boring. Like I didn't like Gurren Lagann. I thought Eureka 7 was painfully boring. Honestly, I got like 20 something episodes deep into that, and I just completely forgot all about it, and just never went back. So yeah, I have to go with mech. I know some people consider Fooly Cooly mech. I definitely understand why, and if that's the case, then so be it. That's my favorite mech anime, and that's the only one that I love. No, that's a lie, because Code Geass is considered mech too, and Code Geass is a masterpiece. But other than those two, most of the mech anime that I've seen I haven't particularly enjoyed, so I'll just have to say mech. Next question is, who is your favorite character? Well, speaking of Code Geass, I love Lelouch from that show, both R1 and R2. And I love Itachi Uchiha from Naruto, so it's really hard for me to pick just one character that I love in particular, because most of the series that I thoroughly enjoy, I have a favorite character from, and they would be on a list of favorite characters if I made one. Like Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin. I love Shiro from Dead Man Wonderland. But yeah, I think probably in my top 2 or 3 would be like L from Death Note, Lelouch from Code Geass, and like Itachi Uchiha from Naruto. Next question is, who is your least favorite character? Now this one's a lot easier to answer. My number 1 least favorite, most hated character in any anime is Asuka from Neon Genesis Evangelion, because I think she is the most annoying character to have ever existed. She has absolutely no redeeming qualities about her whatsoever. I hate her with a burning passion, yo. Every single time Asuka opened her mouth, I want to punch her in it. I swear to God, there's no character I hate more than her. Oh my god, we're not even going to get into it, because I can make a whole rant video about how much I hate Steins Gate. I can make a whole rant video about how much I hate Asuka. I don't even know why I threw in Steins Gate, just that just goes to show how much I hate it, just because I wanted to bring it into this part of the conversation for no apparent reason. But yeah, Asuka, definitely my least favorite. Next question is, what qualities do you like in a character? I always love the characters who you could consider badass. A lot of the ones that people consider like douchebags or arrogant or ignorant, I'm also always a fan of, like Sasuke from Naruto. I like Itachi more, but a lot of people tend to like hate on Sasuke or just hate Sasuke because of his personality. But I always thought his personality was pretty enjoyable, truth be told. And I can't really think of any other character like him off the top of the head, but I know there have been others who people say, oh, that the person's arrogant, or he's ignorant, or he's a straight douche, or he's just an asshole, and I tend to like those characters a lot. So that's not really something that I look for, but it's something I guess I gravitate to. But more than anything else, what will draw me to a character is their character design, like literally just their physical appearance, their hair color and how it's styled, their eye color, the way they dress, the way they're drawn. because you guys already know me by this point if you've been subscribed, and I'm all about the art and aesthetic behind things. So that more than anything else will draw me to a character, because when it comes to their personality, I like a wide variety of personalities and character types, because I like whiny characters like Shinji and Gante Igarashi and Tomiki from Heaven's Lost Property, but then I like the quiet, cool, and intelligent characters like Itachi, Uchiha from Naruto, and Lelouch from Code Geass. But then I like, badass characters like Bardock from Dragon Ball Z or Mugen from Samurai Champloo. But then I like the characters that have a really calm side, but they can turn savage at the drop of a hat, like Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin. So there's all different types of characters that I like. So there isn't one personality in particular that I look for, or any certain traits that I look for in a character. Because I could like a villain more than I like a good character, and at the same time I could like a good character more than I like a villain. So next question is anime or manga, and thankfully in real life I don't actually have to choose between the two. But if you had a gun to my head so I can only have one for the rest of my life, or else you'll blow my brains out, I would pick manga, just for the simple fact that there are a lot of anime that don't complete the entire manga or don't fully adapt the manga series, so there's a lot of content you miss out on. Or there's a lot of manga that just don't have anime adaptations. So just for that factor alone, I'd have to go with manga, just because if I go with anime, then there's automatically a bunch of stuff that I'm missing out on and I won't get to enjoy. Like Deadman Wonderland, for example. Pretty good anime, but it only adapts like the first 5 volumes of the manga, and that's a 13-volume series. And that's just the first one that comes off the top of my head, but there are plenty of examples like that. And then there's just a bunch of manga that just don't have anime adaptations. So, if I don't pick manga, I don't get to enjoy those. Next question is, how do you find anime? And as an anime fan and someone who's always on the internet, it's unavoidable. Like, I couldn't get away from anime if I tried. Pretty much everything I do on the internet at some point goes back to anime, whether I'm on YouTube, Facebook, or actually on my anime list, or Google, or whatever. It's like, if you're a fan of anime and you're on the internet, you just can't get away from it. So there's always something new being added to my list. There's always some new review I'm reading or watching. I'm always talking to people who are telling me about some series that they just finished and they're recommending to me. So, I mean, yeah, the internet's a big way I find out about it. Plus, the people I interact with in real life, there's often recommendations I get. And then, playing video games, I'll meet people online who will tell me about stuff. So, just as an anime fan, it's just, you can't really avoid anime. So yeah. Next question is, do you watch or skip the openings? The majority of the time I do watch them. Very rarely do I skip an opening. The only time I'll skip an opening is if I'm so into a series that I just want to hurry up and quickly get to the next episode because I really got to see what happens, or if I strongly dislike the opening song, which doesn't happen very often because I just love music so much and so many different types of music. But for the majority of the time, I do watch the openings. Same goes for the ending songs. Next question is, what do the people you know think about you watching anime? And it's something I've been into pretty much my entire life. It's something I've always talked about and been a fan of. So anyone who knows me doesn't think of it as anything in particular. It's whatever. Like, people in my family, they just know it as that Japanese stuff that I'm really into, except for my younger brother, who's like actually relatively into it, and my dad knows a little bit more about it than my mother does. Well, actually, I'd probably say a lot more about it than my mother does, just because I talk to my dad more and I've exposed more of it to him. So yeah, they don't really think anything special about it. Same goes for like my friends, I guess you could say, or the people that I associate with in real life. Most of them are into anime to some extent, whether it's less than me or more than me, whether they know less or they know more, and they've seen less or they've seen more. So it's just a regular thing. Like, it's it might as well be, what do they think about me walking or breathing? So yeah, it's nothing special. And the last question on the list is, do you ever drop series? Yes and no. I've dropped series before, but usually I always go back and finish it. So like Noragami, Blue Exorcist, those are a couple of series that like I dropped at some point, but then even just a couple of weeks ago I went back and watched both of those from start to finish. I also watched the second season of Noragami. The only anime, well, there's two in particular, but one of them's never going to get finished, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the only anime that I've ever started and ended up dropping and have yet to ever go back and finish is Eureka 7, and that's because I found it so boring, and I just completely forgot about it and just never went back. Now, I do plan on going back and watching it now that I think about it, because I completely even forgot about it until this question just came up. But, yeah, I'll go back and finish that someday. But the only other anime that I've dropped, and I have no intentions of ever going back to try and complete or catch up, is One Piece. Now, granted, only ever saw the first 3 episodes of One Piece, and now you might be tripping like, yo, you've only ever seen the first 3 episodes, like you can't judge it fairly on that, blah blah blah. There's so many episodes, it gets so much better. Yeah, I know the whole spiel. The thing is, I read like 100 or something chapters of One Piece, and I don't like it. I don't care for it. I didn't get into it. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as people say. I know it gets better. It gets better, but I shouldn't have to read 300 chapters of the manga or watch 100+ episodes of the anime for it to get good, because there's so many other series out there that are amazing from start to finish that are a lot shorter. So One Piece just seems like a waste of time to me. I'm never going to try and catch up with the anime. I'm never going to try and catch up with the manga. I'm just not a fan of the series, and I have no intentions of being a fan of it. So outside of One Piece, I don't usually drop series, and even if I do, I always go back and finish it. But with that being said, that's the last question on the list, so I guess I should wrap this up by tagging a couple of people and then taking us out of here. So most of the people that I know or interact with on YouTube have already been tagged in this or have already done it, so I'll tag just 2 people that I can think of, and that is Punkhead and Andromeda Reads. So if you guys see this and you want to join in on the tag, feel free to do it. Yeah. So with that being said, that's pretty much all I have for today. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you guys can stay tuned for all the awesome content I plan on bringing you. And with that being said, I will catch you guys next time. Later.